Another study has come out. I'm sure they spent a lot of money on this with great insight that says people don't save enough to retire on. Wow! You're kidding! Really? I thought everyone had millions of dollars in their 401k. You mean people don't save money? You're kidding me. I mean, most people walk around, I'm going to buy this and put it on payments. I'm going to buy that and put it on payments. I'm not saving anything in my 401k. I can't spell Roth IRA. They spend everything they make with this great idea that they're going to retire and count on the government, which is well known for its ability to handle money to take care of them. Dude, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be so broke you can't pay attention. I mean, minimum wage will be giving you a raise. I mean, you're going to be so bad, you're going to be ordering the cookbook, 72 Ways to Prepare Alpo, and love it. You know, it's a funny joke in a way, but in a way it's not. I literally had a friend of mine not long ago who went to visit his aunt. He hadn't seen her in a while, and she was in her 70s. She wasn't in really good health, and the home was a paid-for home, but it was a modest home, and it was really clean and nice and had been kept up well. And he went to make lunch, and he opened up the cabinet, and it was full of dog food. And she didn't have a dog. That scares crap out of me. Because I do not want to be working at McDonald's when I'm 78. Unless it's the one I own in St. Thomas. I just don't want to live like that. And you know, there's only one way that you don't retire broke. You have to save money. That's why I get the big money right there. Insights like that. You know, it really doesn't matter the quality of your investment or how smart you are or how sophisticated you are if you don't put any freaking money in the account. So USA Today has got this story out. 36%, this study says, front page of the money section, USA Today, about 36% of workers have less than $1,000. Been there, done that. When it comes to retirement savings, 36%, a little over one-third of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. That's financial suicide. It's not going to go well for you at retirement. Here's what's really scary. Only 22% have more than $100,000. Now, I got to tell you, if you stack $100,000 on the corner of this table, I'll smile and take it, okay? That's a lot of money. But when you get to retirement, it's not. Because if you're living on 8%, that's $8,000 a year. Living on 10%, that's $10,000 a year. It's $800 a month. We're back to dog food again, people. And that's $100,000 saved, and that's only $100,000 and above is only 22% of Americans. Well, you can't save money out there. Yeah, you can't save money because you freaking spend it all. That's why you can't save money. You can't save money because you don't have a plan. You can't save money because you don't care. You're more worried about the big screen. I'm going to have an 80-inch because my 70-inch is just not cutting it. And so I have nothing in my retirement. Zip! Zero! The survey findings said that debt is weighing heavily on many people. Oh, see more. This surveys, man, I'm glad they got this thing because none of us knew that. Debt is weighing heavily on many people, with 58% of workers and 44% of retirees saying they have a problem with their level of debt. Yeah. Like workers, many retirees are also short on funds, with 58% having less than $25,000 in savings and investments. About 60% of the people have less than $25,000. 65% of workers plan to work at retirement. I'll bet. Here's what's interesting. 65% of workers plan to work at retirement. And yet, like 75% have almost nothing saved. So the other 10% are, they just don't have a clue at all. That's what that means. So many people realize they're not on track in saving for retirement, and the two most important reasons they give for not saving is the cost of living and day-to-day expenses. You know what? Cost of living is not your problem, and your day-to-day expenses aren't your problem. It's your spending. You have a car you can't afford. You're going on vacations you can't afford. You're buying clothes you can't afford. You had Christmas that rich people didn't have. You're spending like you're in freaking Congress. That's why you have no money. Now, if you're on a budget and you're not getting out of debt, I'm not talking to you. But, I mean, when you say 36% of Americans, 1/3 of Americans have literally no clue how they're going to eat when they're not able to work because old age sneaks up on them, does that not scare you out of your mind, societally speaking? Well, we ought to take care of the poor. Yeah, we ought to take care of the poor. Here's an idea, though. If you're poor, maybe you ought to save some money so you're not anymore. Well, it's easier said than done. Yeah, I know. It's what I've been teaching people for 25 years on this radio show. Get on a written plan, live on less than you make, set aside an emergency fund, cut up your stupid credit cards. You know, here's what's hilarious. The 36% of Americans that have less than $1,000 in the bank, if you sat down and had lunch with them, I'll bet you they say, I'm using my credit card so I can get points to travel. My airline miles are important to me. They've got a better plan to beat the credit card company than they do to save for their own retirement because they bought the lie that debt is a way of life. See, when you don't have any payments, when you get rid of the car payment, when you get rid of the student loan that's been around so long you think it's a pet, you get rid of American distress, you get rid of I discovered bondage, you get rid of all this crap where you're paying payments out all the time, and you look up, you'll have money. And here's the other thing. When you start living on a plan, you're going to realize you've been spending more than you make. You're spending money you don't have to buy things you don't need to impress people you don't really like. Stop it. Stop it. You've got to freaking get in control. This is called growing up, America. It's an indication of maturity when you save money. One definition of maturity, emotional, spiritual maturity, is the ability to delay pleasure. And we've got, apparently, a large segment of our culture that are a bunch of children walking around in adult bodies because they have no ability to delay pleasure whatsoever, and you're going to become a major problem for the rest of us. Oh, you already are. Maybe it's time you started getting on a budget and selling. Maybe you need to amputate your freaking Tahoe. It's time to get the credit cards out and chop them up. It's time to get on a written plan, America. This just scares the crud out of me from a society standpoint. 36% of Americans don't even have $1,000. You got some work to do, boys and girls. You need to learn how to spell 401k real soon. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.